Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are going through my top 10 favorite Remette knives. Now, Remette kind of showed up on the scene out of nowhere, just dropping some heat. They came out basically with like unique knives, things that other companies weren't doing just yet, like, you know, just different types of the way they mounted their scales on, kind of like this knife. And, you know, as you can see, there's no hardware on it, but they came in with a lot of unique attributes with their knives, or just a unique way of doing things. So, you know, it kind of stepped out of the box a little bit and gave us something new, which I totally respect and I love about Remette. They're not scared to try something different. So this one is the, what the hell was the name of it? It's one of the Peregrine Falcon editions. This one's M390 sheep's foot blade, beautiful action. We got a front flipper that works great and a reverse flick hole, great ergonomics. You can choke all the way up to the edge or choke back. And then if you look here, you can push this and then pop that scale up and bang, check that out. So that is how you take off the scales, and then now you can take apart the knife. So it's very easy to pop this scale off and very easy to pop it right back on. And then, you know, you see how, you know, you just push that button and slide it up, and then there's a titanium mill pocket clip, full titanium backspacer, hidden lanyard, and again, just an all-around good quality, unique knife that you know, is from Remette and just shows kind of, you know, a little bit of what they're doing. Let's get to the next one. Now this next one, I forget the name of it. These are in no particular order, by the way. These are just, I went through all my Remette knives and I picked out my 10 favorite. This one is has a deep hollow ground sheep's foot blade. Look at that deep satin. I love that deep satin. S35 VN blade steel, titanium frame lock, titanium mill pocket clip and backspacer. Nice little hidden lanyard back there. Now this one doesn't have anything unique really about it, but these thumb studs are definitely different. So if you look, they have like a ramp and then the texturing. You can put your thumb right on there and it has a good amount of grip. I really like these thumb studs and they work great for the reverse flick. And you can also go right from the bottom or from right there. It doesn't matter. Both work and feel equally as good. The flipper, it has a great detent. All the Remettes so far have had super solid detents. Nice drop shot action. And you know, it is a somewhat of a slim knife because if you look, it's got this concave section right there, and then it kind of swells out right there, which actually feels nice in the hand. You got a nice choke up spot, great pinch grips, and just an all around great size and, you know, well done knife. You know, this deep hollow grind is super thin. Now this next one is the Kingfisher. Now the Kingfisher has this sick, nasty looking M390 blade. Beautiful. It has, what I really like about it is that the top drops down, so the tip is actually easy to get to, like a drop point, but then you have all this belly to cut down on a flat surface and this little tiny bit of flat spot for slicing. But what you can do is you can kind of kink your hand like this and you can stay into a cut. Now if you look, you can see this has a liner lock, but there's really no hardware. Let's, right here, you pop this back like so, and then now you have the tool to take the knife apart. You can put that right in there, loosen it up, and pop the scale off. This does have a little bit of a spring to it, which is pretty cool. And then pop it right back in just like that. But this allows you to take the knife apart because you can see the liner is separated from the titanium. It's an all titanium handle with the titanium lanyard. It does have the steel lock bar insert. So it is, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Oh, an exposed liner lock. Phenomenal detent once again. These thumb studs, I'm gonna call them thumb triangles, are well placed. Even though they don't have texturing on them, they're just placed so good that you get a great thwack off of them. Same thing with the flipper tab, placed extremely well, lots of leverage, nice strong detent, very ergonomic, super comfortable in the hand. Titanium mill pocket clip, and you know, the backspacer tool is also titanium. So very cool. Let's get to the next one. Now this next one is one of their gravity knives. Now they have a lot of different variations of this, from plain ones, fat carbon fiber, different inlays. This one's the full DLC one with the, I forget what type of fat carbon fiber this is, but fat carbon fiber. And then what it is it's a gravity knife. You push this button and it just drops down, and you can thrust it out like that. And you got these two hooks right there that land right underneath those two wings right there on the blade and prevent it from going back in. It actually is pretty solid, and if you pinch these, it is rock solid. Like, I have no play any direction, which, you know, usually OTFs are not like that. Now, because of that tight tolerances, you do have to have a little bit of clearance or just get used to kind of flipping it out, because it does, you know, like I said, it has pretty tight tolerances. We have a titanium handle, like I said, with the DLC. We have M390 DLC blade. And this one is the clip point, and there is other blade shapes. Nice texturing on the trigger or the button. You have a titanium mill pocket clip, and it's got this coffin shaped handle. And then also I believe there's different inlays right here too. I believe so, but you can see the pattern on there. Looks pretty damn cool. But this was pretty unique because there wasn't very many gravity knives when this one came out. So let's get to the next one. This next one is called the Twoface. Now the Twoface has a removable and replaceable flipper tab. So this one has the front flipper. You can see the section right there. You can take this off and you can put it right here as a flipper. Not sure which one I like more, because the front flipper works great and so does the regular flipper. So it's kind of cool to have it either way. Not sure if I could take and put both on, like, because I did have a second one. I think I did give it to one of the members, but if I did have a second one, I could maybe put it on there and then have both a flipper and a front flipper. That's not a bad idea. Anyways, you have the fuller for the reverse flick, and you have the thumb studs. Great detent, and then you have a dual ground blade. I love the shape of this blade, somewhat of like a harpoon drop point dual ground blade. M390 steel, titanium frame lock. We have a ceramic ball clip, and then we have lots of milling on the inside to bring down the weight. Full titanium backspacer, and it has a semi-contoured handle. Very, very comfortable. You can choke all the way up, especially without that flipper tab. Really, really comfortable in the hand. That is one thing when you put it in the front flipper instead of the flipper. It makes it extremely ergonomic. It's still comfortable with it on there, but, you know, obviously if it's on there, it's going to poke out a little bit, you know, but you still do have a spot to choke up. Super fidget friendly. Has a nice thwack sound on it. Thumb studs are a little bit slippery on these ones because the detent is strong, but it's not bad. So let's get to the next one. The next one is the RT. Now the RT has a harpoon drop point blade with I don't know if this is a glass blasted or what, but it is a DLC blasted blade. Beautiful thumb studs. And then if you look, again, no hardware. No hardware on this guy. And if you look, you can see this has a back strap. So this looks like an integral, right? This looks like one solid piece, but this is actually two pieces. So what you can do is, if I remember correctly, oh, right here, there's a button right here. So you push that little button, and then what you can do is you can pop this forward and slide it off. Bam, just like that. And now you can get to the hardware. Now you wouldn't want to use the knife like this because the edge does come out, as you can see. But you can see the whole construction of the knife, and then pop this guy right back on there. It's that simple. Bang. Action is ridiculous. The way this flipper tab is positioned so high relative to the pivot, this thing has a ton of leverage. So it doesn't even need a strong detent in this single fly out, but yet it does have a good detent. Then you have the thumb studs that are nice and grippy, well placed, very easy to get for the reverse or thumb flick. Very ergonomic. I gotta say, that's one thing, Remette, man, they do great ergonomics And, you know, great detents, great action. Sometimes their flipper tabs or the thumb studs are a little slippery. That's one thing I will criticize. But all in all, man, they absolutely kill it. And, you know, I love that they do the, you know, the unique stuff that they do that kind of separates them from everybody else. A lot of times we see a repeat of the same thing so many times over and over and over that it becomes boring. They keep it exciting, which I like. Next is the woodpecker. Now the woodpecker, if you listen, has a really nice sound in it. Well, the reason why is because it actually has a music key on the inside. So if you look, no hardware on this one either. Got a little button right there, push that button, and then we can pop the scale up. You just slide it up like that, and then we expose the little tinger. So that is what's making that noise. It's really cool. I like how they did that because a lot of people love acoustics, and you can leave it off and actually use it just like this. Nothing wrong with it. Functions just like, you know, a regular knife, and it functions well. But great idea because so many people love acoustics, you know, especially me. I freaking love the way a knife sounds. A knife, you know, you could have a knife that I'm not even that into, and if it has a cool sound, I'm like sold. Give it to me. Give me two of them. Listen to this sound. Hopefully it's coming over the mic. You can hear that. Yeah. Good access to the lock bar. M390 blade with this, it's a satin and a blasted finish. I like this fuller right here, and it is easy to flick off of because you got the hole and this little edge right there. Then you have a front flipper, well positioned. Again, I do wish their jimping was a little sharper, but this one's placed really well, so it works good. Great ergonomics, compact knife, nothing too big. It's not too small. Great clip. You got a titanium clip, and then it's got, if you look on the titanium, it's got the what's it called? Can't even think of what it's called now. It looks galvanized, but crystal. The crystallized titanium. It looks really, really cool. And yeah, that's something that recently started happening. So it was really cool to see them do it because they started it when it literally had like, well, what seemed like it had just came out. Another one I can't remember the name of, but I will write it on the screen. This one has a hollow ground, straight clip point blade with a dual finished blade, titanium handles, great texturing right there. This is kind of like a bug out or Hogue Deca size, but you know, it's well priced, you know, especially for the materials. You got M390 and titanium with this fat carbon fiber inlay, reversible titanium mill pocket clip, and you have a very strong crossbar lock. Oh yeah, and it's adjustable, by the way. And they got a lot of adjustments on this one, as you can see. So you can adjust this one to how strong you want. And mine has a lot of tension. Like you can feel that. I don't know if it's set on the strongest one, but it probably is. It's so strong, which, you know, I like. I love the thumb studs texture. You got a nice thwack to it. Great ergonomics. My one issue with this is the stop pin placement. I do not like where that stop pin is placed. I don't trust it. I'm hoping I know it's like right there in the thicker area, which is good. So I will be able to sharpen, you know, what I have to sharpen out, which is quite a bit. You know, they gave you a few sharpening, so I got to give them credit for having a good plunge grind. Hidden lanyard pin back there. But yeah, I just wish that, you know, I didn't have to worry about that because I don't know if that stop pin is going to do anything if, you know, I sharpen that much steel out, which that would be so long anyways. I think you get your money out of it, but you never know, depending on how you use your knives. But like I said, compact knife, nice hollow grind, and man, super snappy with this strong detent. Like I said, nice texturing right here, great for pinch grips. You know, it's just, like I said, it's similar to like a bug out or something. This is another version of that RT model we checked out with the yellow with the back straps, same one. You know, you got the button right there, you can pop it off. So this one's just a little bit different. The thumb studs are different. And obviously the color, and then this one's a hollow grind. The other one was a flat grind. I love them both. Both of them are really cool. We have a harpoon drop point, deep hollow ground blade, and I beat the hell out of this thing. Right now I need to sharpen it because I beat the edge up so hard. I thought it was gonna like shatter. Like the edge in all cases, in most cases with any other knife, would have just been chipped to hell. Yes, it does have chips, but they're micro chips. With what I dug a hole in gravel with this thing, and you can see it doesn't look bad. It looks damn good. Like, yeah, it's maybe a little bit dirty. I can maybe clean it up a little bit, but damn it, I mean, not too bad. So just shows that, you know, it seems like they did a pretty decent job on their heat treatment on this one. You know, I've sharpened up a bunch of their knives, and, you know, they have even had some of their knives tested for HRC, and they tested really, really well. So that's awesome. Love to see it. You know, if it was super soft, this thing would just be dense. It'd be basically like not chips, but like rolled sections all throughout, and it's not, you know, they're just tiny little micro chips and not even that bad. So kind of shows that there's a decent amount of hardness and toughness still inside this M390 blade. Man, that action is so good. And this one's a great one for lefties, even though it doesn't have a reversible clip. And then we have this guy right here. Now this one has a dual action. You got a frame lock or a button frame. So it gives you the best of both worlds. We have a harpoon drop point dual ground Tonto. Nice deep hollow grind here, flat grind up here. Titanium frame lock, but it is a button frame lock and you can lock it. So now I can't disengage it here or here. So now, and they did a good job with this. Usually when you have a secondary lock, you can move it a little bit. I can't move this thing at all. Look at that, nothing. Like this thing, I can push this button all I want and nothing is happening. It is so solid, and that's what I like to see. If you're gonna do a secondary lock, make it like this. Make it where if I accidentally push the button, I don't feel the blade just wiggling all to hell. What's the point of having a secondary lock? I know it's like people are like, oh, well, it's just a safety. It's not really a secondary lock. Come on. Come on, just make it solid. I mean, I can't imagine it's that much harder to make one solid. Great action. You got the whole deployment, nice strong detent on this one. And then you have the flipper tab, very comfortable flipper tab. The flipper has a super solid detent, the whole little strong. So you got to be a good reverse flicker, at least on mine, because the hole is a little bit chamfered. I wish it was just a little bit sharper around the edge, but it doesn't, you know, it's fine. It works great. Great access to the lock bar. Also, you got great access here. And I like that. They didn't neglect you from getting to it if you wanted to just use it like a frame lock, which is really awesome. Titanium mill pocket clip. We got this purple fat carbon fiber. Nice texturing around the edges. Good looking knife. Attractive knife. Solid knife. And yeah, badass all the way around. There you guys go. Work hard. Stay tough. Till next time. Peace.